But anyway, more football news. Drew Brees makes headlines. What the hell is he doing, ladies and gentlemen? He's out on NBC. A rumor of a return. Now, I bring this up to you guys, and I'm curious.
I have my take.
I'm curious.
Completely opinionated take. Though.
Is this a Jason Witten type situation where he just stunk, and they're like, "Look, we got to do something with this."
It was one of the things that I said. It was so cringe last year just watching him. I understand it, and I didn't
find him to be that bad.
I'm not here to talk shit about Drew Brees and how his mannerisms looked on TV and things like that because I'm somebody that's also going through the very same thing where I feel like sometimes I'm a little out of place, and that's just par for the course. He was new to it. But when you're paying somebody $25 million a year or something, which is what they were paying Drew Brees, an outstanding, astronomical number, you can't have a guy learning on the job. He was so bad in the playoff game that he did last year that they booted him, and that was the final straw. Rob said something this morning.
Wait, was he in the booth?
He was in the booth for a game.
So he got booted because of one bad game?
It was really
it was a playoff game. It was
Bengals
Raiders.
It's still Drew Brees.
But NBC doesn't have NFL other than Sunday Night Football.
That's all they have.
There's really no
those
room
games.
for him other than being as an analyst. That's a big payday for a guy that you can only use maybe once a week.
He's like AC Slater.
They offered him They offered him Notre Dame to do the Notre Dame games, and he supposedly turned it down.
He didn't even go to Notre Dame.
But that's NBC's affiliate. They don't have NBC only has Sunday Night Football. That's it.
So hey, listen, you can't do this shit. Can you just go call up some college football?
So NBC was like, we're not going to let you hold us Saints hostage in the last 2 years of your career.
Ooh, burn.
So when now Drew Brees is doing is, and I would imagine there's a little bit of egg in Drew Brees' face. He's a proud guy. He's coming from a very successful background in almost anything he's ever done in life. And then he goes into this new venture and he falls flat.
I just want to bring up his tweet, but go keep going.
You fall flat. Your next move at that point is to do what you know you're good at, right? Fall back on what you've gotten that's gotten you to this point. And in this case, that happens to be playing quarterback in the NFL. Drew Brees, while he's an all-time great, I think he's been overrated throughout his entire career.
Ooh,
personally.
Interesting.
I've gone on record to say that a ton of
I
times.
agree. I honestly agree.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I think Drew Brees has been slightly overrated, and I think that much like Big Ben looked last year with Pittsburgh was what you got out of Drew Brees. He was holding that team back. There is a 0% chance that the Saints kick the tires on a 41-year-old Drew Brees after they just paid Jameis Winston. Yeah. Whether it's 1-year deal, 5-year deal, it doesn't matter. Jameis Winston is a much better quarterback in the NFL than Drew Brees right now.
Drew Brees showing a little personality in his latest tweet. He says, quote, "Despite speculation from media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC." So all of a sudden it's like,
well, you might take the Notre Dame job.
I may play football again. I may focus on business and philanthropy. Tongue twister. I may train for the pickleball tour, senior golf tour, or coach my kids, or all the above. I'll let you know. So look, the ball's in his court. Really, technically, he's not like NBC's not like, look, man, you stink. We can't use you. Goodbye. Like according to you, they already gave him a secondary.
They
position.
They offered him
his position. So what I think, or my question to you guys is Drew Brees a top 32 quarterback right now? Can he start in the NFL?
He will
right
start
now?
Somewhere, but I don't think that he.
Is there a landing spot for him?
Is Drew Brees going to come in there willing to take a very, very small dollar amount to go play somewhere?
I'm curious about that.
They gave Jay Cutler $10 million to play 1 year.
That's a small dollar amount.
They're not going to give Drew.
Remember that?
They're not going to give Drew. Drew Brees is going to get like 15 to go to Seattle.
Well, that's my point. A small dollar amount. Maybe I kick the tires on Drew Brees to come in there and be like a quarterback's coach / quarterback. But no, I'm not paying Drew Brees $20 million to read.
He was. Listen, Scoop came in. He was absolutely brutal in his last year, and he was hampering the Saints' offense. A 1 year removed, 1 year not taking any hits. I don't know.
Now my point is, can he start over 3 or 4 guys? Yes, but is that if you
what does that say to your guys?
If you're bringing in Drew Brees to be the 26th best quarterback in football, that to me that's not worth it. You're stunting the development of somebody else.
Do you think any teams right now in the NFL are a quarterback away?
Yeah, but Drew Brees, but the 26th best quarterback isn't the quarterback that they are.
I'll rephrase. Do you think there's any teams in the NFL that are a Drew Brees away?
No.
Not Seattle lost Russ.
Not any team that
Seattle lost Russ. They still have DK Lockett.
Best case scenario is if the Saints lose Jameis Winston to an injury, then you could bring in Drew Brees to a system that he already knows. Or if an already established quarterback goes down and then you want to bring in a veteran quarterback to kind of right the ship while he gets healthy, that's a situation for Drew Brees.
I'm very curious to know if any team takes a chance on Drew Brees to compete to start at quarterback. Like
Now-
right now, you would have to do it right now because training camp starts in July. So like you got to bring him in now. You got to catch him up to speed with the
Future
playbook.
first
And
ballot
let's see if he can beat anybody out.
It's tough to bring in a future first ballot Hall of Famer and ask him to compete.
And he's 41, right? 41.
But here's the thing: it's not tough because the guy retired. So
Well,
like
I'm
he
not
wants to
saying-
come back all of a
I'm
sudden.
not
You got to do
saying-
something.
I'm not
with it.
saying that that's not how it should go. As far as the way football works, yeah, you got to go out there and win your job. But when you're bringing in Drew Brees, you would have to imagine that Drew Brees is having that conversation. Like, am I going to start?
Yeah, facts.
'Cause I don't think
right.
Drew Brees wants
Yeah.
to go
The
hold
whole
the
clipboard.
Well, you
clipboard.
got to swallow your pride here, man.
No
If you want to go play
way.
football right now,
and as a
you
team,
got to
and
swallow your
if
pride.
we're talking about what it's going to cost to bring him out of retirement, are you going to pay him $15 million to go compete? No, you want to pay your quarterback. That's you get what I'm saying. So he's going to have to take a very small deal if that's going to be the case.
Here's my take on Drew Brees as far as like where I think he can go. What?
Dallas, if you can compete with that.
Oh, fuck off, Scoop. Stupid ass. If I had an opinion about where Drew Brees can land right now and literally compete to play in the NFL right now as a starter, there's multiple spots, actually. Carolina is sitting there with Sam Darnold. I don't know if that's even where they want to go with it, right? So he can come in there with Christian McCaffrey as a safety net, throw that ball to DJ Moore and guys that they have, well, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm talking about. They have the players and they have a good defense, right? So that's a good team. Then there's the Seattle Seahawks with Drew Lock, right? And what?
Carolina picked 6th.
I understand where they picked. I'm just saying their defense was not bad. They were like number 1 in the league last year before Dallas came in and beat them up. Like, so they had
Yeah, but
some
it was week 3.
talent. All right. In any event, Seattle, Drew Lock right now is the guy that they said, oh, we'll go with him. You're telling me Brees can't come in there and up big boy, like Drew Lock, big man him. I'm like, dude, my
How
job. I'm coming in.
Where's he from, guys?
Yeah, I could
Louisiana.
totally
No.
see.
He's
Drew
from
Brees,
Texas.
underthrowing
Who needs a
DK.
quarterback?
What about the Houston Texans?
Now this is what will he go in there and start over Davis Mills? I don't think so. I think Davis Mills had a good job, did a good
Chris,
job
dude,
last year.
come
What are we
on,
talking
come on.
about?
You
here?
don't
Come
think
on,
he would
come
start
on.
over Davis Mills?
So
Come on.
for that team, you want to bring in Drew Brees to go play
No,
quarterback.
They've
for the
done
Jets.
nothing over there.
You understand?
So,
So,
like,
it's like it doesn't add up. If you're saying is he better than Davis Mills at this point, I'm saying maybe. I'm saying also probably not.
Well, Chris,
okay. Now, how about the Falcons? We have Mariota right now.
Same.
Familiar with the division, can go play over there. Doesn't have a lot of weapons
I don't
outside of
think
Kyle
Drew
Pitts.
Brees could throw the ball 40 yards in air right now.
Look, he looked like shit in his last year. There's no mistake about it, right? We all know, we all saw the film, right? But like, I'm looking at Drew Brees right now as a kind of quarterback that you can bring in and him play serviceable football. And I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback. This guy's mind and talent and experience alone might put one of these teams over the top.
I think that what
And when I say top, I mean like put them in from outside the playoffs to inside the playoffs.
I think the teams that we're talking about are in the midst of a rebuild, and bringing in a Drew Brees isn't the answer. You could say maybe a team like if Russ wasn't on Denver, that would be a team because like who are they? They're away and they're going to hand the ball off a lot anyway. Then you could be like, all right, Drew Brees, that might make some sense.
What about
but these other teams are bad. Atlanta's not going to win games with or without Drew Brees. So you're going to get a guy that's 41 to go get the shit kicked out of him. Think about week 10. Drew Brees is still the quarterback. He's going to be, I don't know if he'll make it.
Here's why I think Houston.
What about the Giants?
No way. They would never do
Tyrod
it.
Taylor's better.
Here's why I would think Houston, and hear me out on this take. Here's why I think Houston Texan makes the runs at him, okay? Runs at him.
Gets cold fast.
Because one, he's from that area. Two, they just came off that Deshaun Watson huge scandal thing. This is good for the organization. It's good for media. Does he start over Davis Mills? I believe he 100% starts over Davis
100%.
Mills. I understand what you're saying. It's not a good look for the team. It's not a good look for morale. It isn't 100%.
Also, does Drew Brees want to go there?
That's my point too.
If he wants to play football, he'll go where they tell him.
I'm just saying for Houston's sake.
The tweet,
He's
just
a
so
hometown
we're all
boy.
clear, the
He's from
tweet
there.
before this, in the same hour, was, man, signing Landry and Tyrann Mathieu makes me want to come back and play again.
Ooh, and
Great
then
additions, leaders, and players.
And then they fire him. He's like, hey, well,
Yeah,
I'd like to
like, first of all,
Everybody
just
was
to
like
get-
this. That was the meme. It was Sean Payton was like,
Payne's not even there.
like, oh, he's not in the front office at all?
No, that's
he's
why
completely gone.
Who's
dude.
the
Doug
owner?
fucking
Meacham or Leach?
No, the
I don't know.
offense, the defensive coordinator
How
was
sad is it though that like
hired.
they think Chris Collinsworth's
Talk about who's the
announcing
GM.
he's better
Here's
than
a
Drew
guy-
Brees?
Who's the
Chris
GM?
Collinsworth
Veach?
is phenomenal,
No,
by the
Veach
way.
is
What?
the
What?
Chiefs
What?
GM.
You don't like him because he has
I-
an annoying voice?
Who is the
I
He's
who's
one
the
of the
Saints
smartest
GM?
dudes to listen to.
Kyle or
Actually,
Rob?
like take
who's
away
the Saints
personality, he's amazing. What?
Who's the Saints GM?
It's the guy that keeps breaking the law as
I
far
know,
as
but I want to know who
salary
he is
cap
because
concerned.
he's definitely got something up his sleeve every offseason.
There's no way you bring in Drew Brees. It's just,
I don't think he goes back there.
It's a silly thing, man.
Mickey
Like,
Loomis.
I don't. What?
Mickey Loomis?
Yeah.
That's the owner.
GM. Yeah, no. General manager Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis, executive vice president, general manager.
Yeah, the
NFL's
Bensons, I
Saints.
think, own the Saints.
You're right. Loomis just sounded like an owner. I don't know, but
He's been there since 2000.
in any event,
so.
What does he sound like? A older white man?
yes. So he sounds like an owner.
Mickey Loomis.
That's why he sounds like an owner. In any event, we'll find out what happens here with Drew Brees. Again, he's making headlines right now as we're in the middle of like rookie mini camps right now. So a lot of these teams are getting their rookies in the building. They're kind of surrounding themselves there. And you knew the Chop Sports couldn't do a show without talking about a little bit of football.